Hi, my name is Christina Gadar, and in this video I'd like to talk about my first book, Pilates, an interactive workbook. If you're going to do it right. So I wrote this book originally for my students. I have a lot of students that go up north for the summer. I live in Sarasota, Florida, and it can get very hot here, so I have what's called snowbirds. And when they go up north, a lot of them don't have Pilates studios where they can continue their training. So I wanted to provide them with a guide so that they couldn't lose ground. They would continue, and when they returned to my studio in the fall, they would just keep going from where they left off. So that was the purpose of this book. Since then, it has really taken off. Many Pilates teachers recommend it to their students, and many Pilates training programs recommend it to their apprentices. So I'm really grateful for the response it has received. I'm going to show you a little bit about this book. Before I do, I'd like to tell you the word that one of my students used to describe it. She said, "Christina, this book is timeless." And that really touched my heart. I think that is a great way to describe it because it covers the fundamental Pilates method, the mat and the reformer. And specifically the basic and intermediate mat, the magic circle mat work, the standing weight series, the magic circle exercises, and additionally, I included the basic and intermediate reformer. So whether or not a student has the reformer at home, the chapters on the reformer are very useful for when they return to the studio. I even include a description of the apparatus, naming the parts of the apparatus in addition to the exercises. Let me open up to a page here to show you how it's laid out. So my teacher, Romana, was really adamant about saying that you cannot learn Pilates from a book. So I totally agree with that. This is a workbook. It is designed to be filled out with the help of your certified Pilates teacher. So this book includes a description that's very brief, a simple general purpose, setup, repetitions, a quick reminder to help get you started with your own notes that can be written here, or some of my students actually like to write them by the step-by-step photo illustrations. So that is the general layout of the book, and if I go to the start of a chapter, for example here I opened up to the intermediate reformer chapter, so we have a 2-page layout at the start of every chapter. So you can see the order. So if you're a student that pretty much knows your workout exercises but might be a little rusty on the order, this might be a good place to open to. Leave it open on the beginning of the chapter, see the order. If you get to an exercise where you're still a little fuzzy, you might look at the page number that the description is on, which is right by the photo, go to that page and then get a little bit more of an in-depth description, and it's really photo driven, so the step-by-step photos will be your main guide here. This is not a textbook, it's not a manual, it really is a guide. I'm very proud of it. It was my very first Pilates book, and I was a little bit intimidated to write a book, honestly. But my teacher, Romana has this saying, which I include in the subtitle of my book: if you're going to do it right. So I took my time with it. I reshot many of the exercises to get better angles, and I do think it came out right. And the response, like I said, has been really wonderful, and I'm really happy to see that it has taken on the way it has. It did get published at a difficult time. It was published on August 29th, 2013, and the very next day, my mentor, Romana passed away. I definitely didn't celebrate the launch of this book the way I had anticipated because it was overshadowed by something far more important, which was the passing of someone who was very special to me and to my Pilates community. So it really wasn't until her granddaughter, Daria, sent me a message about this book that I felt a little bit more at ease and a little more sense of pride that I had done this. And her message was, keeping it beautiful, simple, and pure. This is something Grandma would have approved of, as she didn't like manuals, but a beautiful guide. Thank you, Christina Gadar. So those words are, I don't even need a prompt card to read those because they are etched in my heart They mean a lot to me. I'm really grateful to Romana's family for accepting this book, and I think that Romana would have liked it, and I hope that that would be the case. And I'm really glad that many of my Pilates colleagues have enjoyed it and have recommended it to their students. So that's a little bit about my first book, Pilates, an Interactive Workbook. Thank you, and I hope you learned a little bit more about it, and if you don't have it, maybe you'll be inclined to get it or recommend it to your students.